This is Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com. I hope you enjoyed this Critical Thought, your daily discussion on game design. Hello everybody, welcome to today's Critical Thought. This is actually going to be the second uploading. I found a problem with OBS. I think I got it fixed, so this is going to be take 2. As always, once again, thank you to 872 subscribers here on YouTube. Hope you're all enjoying the content. And if you are, be sure to tell your friends and, of course, tell them to subscribe. We are on our way to 900, and that means the 800 subscriber Let's Play vote is going to be coming to the end. You have until tomorrow night, that's October 30th at midnight, if anyone wants to break the tie between the Hitman and 2016 play, or you look back at the classic games of PopCap. If no one votes by then, I will basically break the tie on my own. Also, there's only 2 days left if you'd like to get the early bird reward pricing for some of the rewards I have up on Patreon. You can find me on Patreon under Game Wisdom. Any donations will be greatly appreciated. Come November 1st, they'll just be the regular pricings. If you have any suggestions for things I can offer, be sure to let me know below. And I asked this a few days ago, but I was wondering if there is interest in uploading these critical thoughts and other things to SoundCloud or some other service. Let me know about that. For today's critical thought, we're going to be talking about the concept of re-reviewing games. My example up there is from Clockwork Empires, and I've been playing the game on and off. There is the Let's Play of it here, and part of the thing that I've been seeing is that the game has not been doing so well. I've seen several reviews that have been crushing the game over bugs, gameplay issues, and more, and my review will be up in a few days from now. And this is one of those tough ones to write. The problem is that I've been following this game for the last 2 years, and I've had a chance to see it grow. But I also know that when a game hits 1.0, that's the time you have to review it. But one of the things that we've been seeing over the last few years has been this concept of re-reviewing games, or provisional reviews. And this is based on several factors. First is the idea of games as a service. That a game is no longer finished at 1.0 or release, and we'll see more content and work done over the coming months or years. Games like World of Warcraft, Payday 2, Team Fortress 2, any game with a online community or focus will usually grow and change. Chances are we can talk about Overwatch probably in a year from now. Another side is when a game basically gets emergency fixes or repairs after release. A good example of that would be from Supreme Commander 2, that when it came out it was just bashed for poor AI, poor design, just not enjoyable to play. And the developers spent, I think, about a year reworking the game. They got a modder by the name of Soren who would go on to work on Planetary Annihilation to completely rebuild the game's AI from scratch, making it more adaptable and more challenging. And then after those major patches, Supreme Commander 2 essentially got a second life. And it raises that question, though, of should a game be re-reviewed? I know Polygon, and I think several places, have provisional reviews, where a game, essentially what they call that the review is not done. And it's for games that either are part of a games as a service, or an episodic game, like Telltale's Batman, The Walking Dead, you name it. But it raises that question for game reviews, that are they required to re-review games after, X amount of months or X amount of patches? And again, this is something that we really haven't seen until a few years ago. For me, I'm not a fan of provisional reviews, so I think it's just, like dragging things along. You should be able to see from day one if a game is good or bad or not. Now, the concept of re-reviewing, that is another interesting one. Going back to Clockwork Empires, for instance, there's a good chance that the game could be completely different in 6 months to a year from now. Gaslamp has said they're going to keep working on it, and that could very much mean that things could be improved. All the problems could be fixed. But as I say with a lot of my reviews, I can't review a game on what could happen. I have to look at what the current state of the game is. And one of the things about game design and mechanics is that those things normally don't change over weeks or months of new content. New content definitely makes a game bigger, but it's not like they're going to completely rebuild game systems. Now, somewhat of an example or an exception to that would be The Division, which as of this week just had their big 1.4 update, which is where I just started playing. And that's them completely altering a lot of things based on fan feedback and criticism of the game. And now that raises the question, if a developer does a grand change and alters everything, does a game deserve a second or third look? With Skyshine's Bedlam, for instance, the game was released and got a whole lot of negative feedback and reviews. And from a marketing and business point of view, they probably should have let it go. But the developer decided to keep working on it and completely rebuild the game's systems and core mechanics, and re-release it as another edition. Now, in that case, should a game like that get a second review? I think with those kinds of situations, yes. Now the question is, should this be done, as a regular occurrence? Again, if a game gets 10 patches, does it automatically get a second review? I don't think so. I think the idea of re-reviews is a special exception. But it's one that I think we're going to see more of as time goes on, and as we see more games go through the early access / games as a service model. With, for instance, another big or potentially big example of that would be No Man's Sky, which may be one of the most talked about games of 2016, not exactly for the best reasons. Now, as of this moment, I don't know what they're exactly doing. I looked at this earlier with take 1 of this critical thought, and the last big patch I think came a month ago, and I don't think there hasn't been any big news since. Now, in that case, No Man's Sky could turn out to be a brilliant game a year or 2 years from now, but the original review does have to stand. And this does raise some interesting points if a game could also get worse as time goes on. There's that brief stint with Payday 2 with the microtransactions that pissed off a lot of people, and also just destroyed their Metacritic and user review rating. As another example, there's Evolve, which kind of rose slightly, and now I think is dead in the coffin, as it was announced that the developers are not going to be supporting the game anymore. They thought Phase 2, which was their free-to-play transition, was going to save the game, and unfortunately it doesn't look like it. And when an online game stops getting support, that's it. It's KO'd. The fat lady has sung, it's all over. So it's another one of those cases where the original reviews of Evolve probably aren't going to be relevant anymore. Same as the original reviews of Payday 2, and I'm hoping Clockwork Empires. But again, with my review coming in a few days, I'm going to have to say what I think about the game. And, the chips are going to fall where they lie. But for those of you watching, for you, what do you think about this concept of re-reviewing? Do you think it should be done? What are some examples of situations where it can be? And what are your thoughts on provisional reviews? Like I said, I'm not a fan of them. I think if the game is going to be multi-episode, simply review each episode as it stands. I know it's going to be a little bit more work, but the idea of just constantly altering the same review just feels a little weird to me. But let me know what you think below. Alright, I think this take 2 is going to end a little bit earlier, just because with a second take I was able to reframe my thoughts a little bit easier. So we're going to wrap it up here. Once again, thank you to 872 subscribers here on YouTube. Be sure to check out the Clockwork Empires Let's Play, as well as my review coming in a few days. Once again, be sure to vote for the 800 subscriber. Let's play, and if you're watching this and enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe as we are quickly getting up there to 900. So with that said, thanks for watching this little later edition of the Critical Thought. Once again, I'm Josh Bycer from GameWisdom.com. I hope you enjoy it, and be sure to come back tomorrow for more great content. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and of course share with your friends. It always helps out. For daily posts on all manner of game design and industry topics, check out game-wisdom.com. To support the site and everything that I do, be sure to check out the Patreon campaign. If we can hit goals, it will mean more content for everyone to enjoy, and I'll be able to support myself and my household. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Twitter at GWBycer for updates throughout the day and random thoughts from me. And lastly, you can find me on Twitch right over there at GWBycer for daily streams most nights around 10 Eastern. Thanks again for watching the video, and be sure to check out more great content coming to the Game Wisdom channel real soon.